The investigation starts here, with a routine equipment check revealing the first irregularity in the logs. You begin the morning inspection, checking the gear bag against the protocol list for any discrepancies. The mission folder contains classified documents, each stamped and signed as part of the standard chain of command procedure. While reviewing the frequency log, you notice an entry that deviates from the scheduled transmissions by several digits. The frequency recorded is 155.5 MHz, but the protocol specifies 150.5 MHz for this particular time slot. The initial shock sets in as you realize the irregularity could indicate a breach in the military protocol. You double-check the data, ensuring that the anomaly is not a simple error in the inspection process. The gear bag, with its unit patch, symbolizes the routine duties that have now been disrupted by this finding. You report the irregularity to your immediate superior, following the chain of command as required by protocol. The officer asks for details, and you explain the anomaly found during the equipment check this morning. The briefing board displays the operational grid, the key tool in understanding the context of the irregularity. Together, you access the classified database to verify the frequency logs against the master transmission schedule. During the initial debrief, you present the evidence, highlighting the procedural breach found in the inspection. The inspection sheet, signed by officers, is the official record that now contains this critical irregularity. You start gathering additional classified documents to cross-reference and solidify the evidence of the breach. Whispers begin in the unit as you share the discovery, and suspicion starts to grow among the ranks. The radio, with its logged frequencies, is a crucial piece of equipment that revealed the initial anomaly. You prepare a detailed report documenting every step of the investigation and the irregularity found today. The report is now submitted, and the chain of command is officially notified of the potential breach. Now, you await the response from higher command as the investigation moves to the next phase of suspicion. The commanding officer authorizes a full inspection of the equipment logs based on your report of the irregularities found yesterday. This classified folder now holds all initial evidence, stamped for official review and further investigation procedures. Together, you verify the radio frequency logs against the master schedule, discovering 3 more discrepancies in the transmission records. The briefing intensifies as senior officers analyze the evidence, expanding the investigation scope beyond the initial findings. With the investigation escalated, you prepare to delve deeper, aware that suspicion is beginning to grow within the unit. The investigation now enters a phase of growing suspicion and hidden clues within the military base. Whispers spread through the unit as soldiers speculate about the ongoing investigation and potential breaches in protocol. The unit patch on the gearback symbolizes the trust now under scrutiny due to the investigation's findings. You cross-reference the inspection sheets with the radio logs, finding patterns that point to a specific 2-hour time frame. The briefing now includes detailed analysis of the evidence, with officers debating the implications of the discovered anomalies. The briefing board is updated with 5 new grid references, indicating the widening scope of this military investigation. You question a trusted comrade about inconsistencies in his report, noticing nervous behavior during this private discussion. You retrieve additional classified documents from the central archive, adding 7 more files to the evidence pile. The annotated inspection sheet highlights the key irregularities that sparked this entire investigation at the base. You report your growing suspicions to a higher-ranking officer who listens carefully and takes detailed notes on the case. You double-check the radio's frequency logs against the official transmission schedule, confirming the anomalies found earlier. During the briefing, suspicion is directed towards a senior NCO whose records show inconsistencies with the equipment logs. The mission folder now contains over 20 documents, all classified and related to the breach investigation procedures. With evidence mounting, you prepare to present your findings in the upcoming high-level meeting with command staff. You head to the command center, carrying the classified folder, ready to escalate the investigation further into the chain. You enter the command center, prepared to present your findings and escalate the investigation to 3 senior officers in the chain of command. You discuss the anomalies with the officers, highlighting 5 key discrepancies found in the equipment logs from last week's inspection. The gearbag's unit patch remains intact, but its placement during the inspection raised questions about its use on that specific night. Whispers in the barracks hint at growing unease as soldiers discuss the investigation's impact on unit morale and daily protocols. You directly question a comrade about inconsistencies in his reports, noticing his hesitation when discussing the 2-hour time frame of the breach. The briefing intensifies as officers analyze updated grid references, focusing suspicion on a trusted element within the unit's senior ranks. You double-check the radio logs, confirming 3 unauthorized transmissions that align with the anomalies found in the inspection sheets. The annotated inspection sheet reveals critical irregularities, including missing signatures and altered timestamps from the routine equipment check. You retrieve additional classified documents from the central database, adding 8 more files to the evidence pile for further analysis. The whispers escalate as soldiers debate the investigation's findings, with some expressing concern over potential sanctions from higher command. You confront the senior NCO about the inconsistencies in his records, observing his defensive posture during this brief exchange. The briefing board is updated with 10 new grid references, indicating the widening scope and complexity of this military investigation. With evidence mounting, you prepare to compile a comprehensive report for the upcoming high-level meeting with command staff tomorrow. You present your findings to the officers, highlighting the procedural breaches and the need for immediate action based on the collected evidence. After the briefing, you carry the classified folder ready to transition into the evidence-gathering phase as suspicion solidifies on specific individuals. Stage 3. Evidence. You begin gathering additional classified documents from the archive, adding 6 more files to your evidence collection for detailed cross-referencing. The mission folder now contains over 25 documents, all classified and meticulously organized for the investigation into the procedural breach. You cross-reference the digital transmission logs with the inspection sheets, confirming patterns that point to a systematic breach over 3 consecutive days. With over 30 documents now compiled, the evidence solidifies, clearly indicating a hidden activity that requires immediate command attention and resolution. You identify a key pattern in the data, linking 3 separate incidents to the same procedural breach that occurred last week during duty hours. The inspection sheet reveals 5 unauthorized entries, each signed off by the same officer, confirming the breach in military protocol. The data analyst confirms your analysis, adding that the frequency logs show 12 abnormal transmissions during the specified 3-day period. You verify the radio's frequency log, finding 8 entries that match the suspicious patterns documented in your investigation folder. The gear bag contains additional notes and maps, providing context for the hidden activities under investigation within the unit. You present the compiled evidence to the officers, who express concern over the implications for unit integrity and chain of command. You conduct a late-night inspection of the barracks, discovering 4 more pieces of evidence in soldiers' personal lockers for analysis. The mission folder is updated with a total of 40 documents, all pointing towards a systematic breach spanning 2 months. You access encrypted files from the database, uncovering 6 deleted records that further implicate the involved personnel in the breach. A secure message confirms that higher command has been alerted and a meeting is scheduled for tomorrow morning at 0800 hours. The briefing board shows a complex web of connections with 10 key locations identified for the investigation's next phase. You compile the final report, summarizing 15 critical findings that demand immediate action from the chain of command based on evidence. The NCO provides additional testimony, corroborating 3 key points from your evidence about the procedural breaches during inspections. The radio log now includes 20 anomalous entries, each time-stamped and logged for further analysis in the military investigation. With all evidence organized, you confirm that the breach involved 7 individuals and spanned over a period of 60 days. You update the investigation lead via secure line, reporting that the evidence is solid and ready for the confrontation phase tomorrow. The inspection sheet is sealed in an envelope, marked as evidence for the upcoming debriefing with higher command officials. You prepare visual aids for the briefing, including maps and charts that highlight the 10 most critical findings of the investigation. You ensure all documents are in order, with the mission folder containing 50 pages of evidence for the high-stakes meeting ahead. With the evidence fully compiled, you proceed to the command building for the closed-door confrontation that will reveal the truth under protocols. You proceed to the final confrontation, where the truth will be revealed under strict military protocols and classified procedures. You enter the command building at 0800 hours, prepared for the high-stakes meeting with higher command officials based on your evidence. The mission folder contains 50 pages of classified evidence, each stamped and ready for review in the upcoming confrontation. The confrontation begins as you present the first piece of evidence, a log with 20 anomalies that indicate a procedural breach. You highlight 10 critical findings from the investigation, each supported by documents and testimony from 7 individuals involved. The briefing board shows the complex network of activities spanning 60 days, with key locations marked for further analysis. The senior officer challenges one point, but you provide corroborating evidence from the radio log with 15 matching timestamps. You submit the inspection sheet as evidence, which confirms 3 key breaches during the routine duties that initiated the investigation. The radio log now has 30 entries logged for the investigation, each contributing to the timeline of the procedural breach. Higher command acknowledges the evidence, leading to a decision for sanctions against 5 personnel involved in the breach. You undergo a debriefing session, where the chain of command outlines the next steps based on the investigation's conclusions. Your gear bag remains packed, a reminder of the unit's integrity maintained through the rigorous investigation process. With the confrontation concluded, you return to duties, having secured a resolution that upholds military protocols and discipline. You compile the final report summarizing the outcome, including sanctions for 5 individuals and revised procedures for future inspections. The inspection sheet is archived as part of the official record, ensuring transparency and adherence to military standards. You inform a trusted colleague about the resolution, emphasizing the importance of vigilance in maintaining chain of command integrity. A final briefing is held to disseminate the investigation's findings and the new protocols implemented to prevent future breaches. You verify that all gear is secured and ready, following the updated inspection procedures that resulted from the investigation. You update the investigation lead via secure line, confirming that the case is closed and sanctions have been enforced as per protocols. The investigation concludes with the truth revealed, leading to disciplinary actions and reinforced protocols that ensure base security and integrity.